recording in three, two. Hey, Zanya, so talk to us. Tell me one or a couple uncommon marketing tactics or strategies that you know can definitely help other practice owners out if we were to implement it today.
Well, thanks for having me on, Michael. I love this question because I know how passionate you are about ground
Mm,
marketing. And this is something that I think practices don't give enough attention to is getting really creative about what's happening in their own community. So I had the opportunity to talk to my account team and some of the clients that they work with, and they actually shared some super cool things that they've been doing.
mm-hmm.
And a lot of it revolves around strategic partnerships. So I don't know if you've done that in the practice you work with right now, but it can be a really neat way to kind of benefit both parties, both the partner that you're working with as well as your own practice.
Okay, yeah.
So one that I saw that I loved, and it just seems like such a simple thing, is a local wedding salon. I'm sorry, a local bridal salon that takes care of a lot of weddings.
Mm-hmm.
Every time a bride buys a dress, she's automatically given a gift certificate to go get free whitening at a practice.
Ah,
And yes, that definitely takes a little upfront from the doctor, but this is something they commonly give away in a lot of the new patient experiences that they have. So it brings new people into the practice who are very cosmetically focused. And whitening obviously is not necessarily an option for everybody. So they might come in, find out they need a little bonding to be done, some veneers. And then, of course, that bride, because of this wonderful free thing she's been given, shares that experience with friends on social media.
mm-hmm.
Another one, and I have a twist on this that I'm so dying to do. So a lot of my doctors do Botox. They love doing cosmetic dentistry, and Botox is such a natural extension of it. And I've seen them do Botox days with local salons and things like that. Well, the twist, I'm really trying to get my husband to lock in on this because I think I've told you before, in addition to being a dentist, he owns a craft brewery in our town. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to do beer and Botox days because how many people can you think of that would absolutely love to come in, grab a beer, get their Botox done? They're there with their friends. It's a different environment. So think of taking, a normal thing that you do and how can you put it in a completely different environment, partner with that business. Frankly, you could do beer and Botox days anywhere around the country. Just find a brewery who's willing to let you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they would be hugely popular for both sides.
Yeah. Would you do the Botox in the practice and like have the beer, or how would that work?
No, because just like you can go to a local salon and do Botox, it doesn't have to be in your practice. You could go to a local brewery and do Botox. There's other places outside of your own practice where you can do it. Now, you still have to have an assistant with you, and you definitely want to check with your insurance carrier to make sure this is all copacetic. Everybody's a little bit different, but the idea of creating an activity, an environment for somebody versus just thinking about it as pure, boring clinical work.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. Actually creating like a almost like a gathering, right? Of some sorts,
Mm-hmm.
like or like a tribe or something like that. You know what I mean? Behind the cause of the gathering, and can be really strong. Um,
Exactly.
so I like that a lot.
Then a couple of other ideas where we really see strategic partnerships and sponsorships work, especially when you're in smaller towns. So anybody who's got a local university that's got a competitive team, anybody who's like a D1 team, they are selling all sorts of sponsorships that take place at those events. So you know how it's very common to do a dance cam when you
Mhm.
are, at a game that can be sponsored by the practice, and it can be a floss off. So everybody doing the floss dance, see who actually wins at that. Or similarly, it could be a smile cam. So instead of just the kiss cam, it can be who has the most incredible smile. And then one that we had a client do that you really do just have to be into this and have a team member who loves it, but it was so much fun. They sponsored their local kind of a regional baseball team. So they're the starter baseball team. And they actually have a mascot that is a giant toothbrush that went around and brushed the bases during in between innings because that was how they got them nice and clean and white. So it was just a great simple take on doing something and bringing your attention to a product or a service in a way that you wouldn't normally expect it.
Yeah, definitely. How do you know how much typically those would cost though? Like those type of sponsorships at games?
Well, it depends on where you live, but they're usually no more than about a couple $1,000s. And usually that'll get you for the season. We're not just talking, um, for a single game. It depends on how big your market is. So I'm coming from central Pennsylvania. For example, they do a smile cam at Bucknell University. Um, and it's a D1 team. There's regulars from the community that have gone there for years and years and years. So these sponsorships actually really get noticed. And I don't know what their exact cost is, so it depends on the university, but dealing with like minor league teams, it should not be much at all. As a matter of fact, it could even be something that's trained, it might be the team dentist in the event that there's something that happens to the players.
Yeah, that's I like out of these, for example, they're creating the strategic partnerships with the bridal salon, right? Or the bridal, like David's Bridal, like you know what I mean? Like those
Mm-hmm.
dress companies, the beer and Botox and buying sponsorships. In your opinion, Zanya, what would you see if they told you like, hey, you got to pick one for the best ROI?
Oh, well, I think it depends on the practice and, and what their goal is. I'm going to tell you, Botox is always going to have the best ROI because there's such a nice margin on it and you can just get a high volume of people through. Plus, it's recurring revenue. They come back every 3 months or so to keep that up. So I personally think that is the best ROI that you're going to see for a single type of event.
Yeah.
But the rest of these are just good brand awareness as well. I mean, I've even got a client, this was up in Alaska a couple of years ago. They did the coffee sleeves for a local coffee place because people were, staining their teeth, drinking their coffee, and this doctor could promote their whitening on the coffee sleeves. So they provided that for the business and they got publicity in return.
That's so cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Especially like the beer and Botox type of thing. Just having a
Me
bunch
too.
of
I
beer
love it.
and you're like, might as well have some Botox as I'm here too. It's kind of like a thing. But what I thought was really brilliant was the like certificate with the wedding dress, you know?
Hmm.
And everybody, I don't see anybody who wouldn't take that. I feel like everybody would take that.
Well, and the cost of laser whitening is so nominal for doctors. It's somebody, assuming that you got an open chair and an assistant has to go in and check on them, but it's really not expensive when it comes to the actual product. And an incredible way to just, take a beautiful picture of this bride before and after or on her wedding day, sharing it on social media. My bet is she'd probably be sending in all of her bridesmaids to get some whitening done as well.
Oh yeah, like her, everybody, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
just everybody needs to hurry up and get it done because, like, the times are. And you know what? I remember going ground marketing. Like those, like they call them here, like bridezilla events, right? Where,
Yeah.
and then they would have like booths everywhere, and there was other dentists too, and we were all kind of like we were giving away whitening anyways, in
Mm-hmm.
hopes of upgrading to veneers and things like that. So I mean, this is more targeted, but at the same time, it's better because it's like a one-on-one recommendation, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
they're kind of already the bride's already kind of getting a relationship with the person who they're buying the dress from, and then at the same time, the person who's buying the dress is like, hey, here's a gift certificate too as a thank you for your purchase, right?
Right.
Um,
It's a win-win. Everybody gets something out of this.
Yeah, I really like that a lot. Awesome, awesome. Any other piece of advice that you would want to give us when it comes to uncommon strategies?
Well, gosh, I could do ideas for days, but the idea is to just think outside of the box. I'll give you one last one to walk away with that I'm dying for somebody to do. This has been years. Just because direct mail hasn't been as popular over the years, they did. You know how you get scratch off lottery tickets and you have to like take your quarter and scratch off the silver?
Mhm.
So, doing a postcard where you've got someone with a bunch of silver fillings and you could literally scratch them off the postcard to see a beautiful white smile underneath, as revealed by this doctor. So,
Mm.
you can get really creative and interactive with the marketing that you're doing. If someone is engaging with it personally and they're not just seeing your message or hearing your message, but they're literally taking action and doing something, it embeds that memory so much further. And it's much more likely that they are going to take the next step because they think it's kind of cool.
Awesome. I like that one too. Awesome, Zanya. I appreciate your time. And if anyone has further questions or concerns or anything like that, where can they reach out to you directly?
Best way to reach me is to go to our website, which is goldenproportions.com. You'll see the chat button pop up. We can chat with you in real time, or you can just go to the contact page and schedule a quick free consultation. We love to talk to doctors about their marketing and how to make it even more powerful.
Awesome. So, guys, definitely go check that out in the show notes below. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, then you can definitely check it out in the description below. And Zanya, thank you for being with me on this Monday morning marketing episode.
My pleasure. Thank you, Michael.